The streets of Mumbai were still asleep when Arjun stepped out of his small one-room apartment, his backpack slung over his shoulder. It was 4:30 a.m., and while the city dozed under flickering streetlights, he was already heading to the gym. No one saw him walking those silent roads, the only sounds coming from his sneakers hitting the pavement and the occasional bark of a stray dog. But he kept going. Arjun had always dreamed of becoming a professional athlete. Not cricket, not football, but boxing. His father, a factory worker, laughed at the idea. His mother worried. His relatives scoffed, telling him, "It's a poor man's sport. Even if you win, you won't make money." But none of them saw what Arjun did. The fire inside him, the hunger to prove himself. At 19, he found a rundown gym in a forgotten alleyway where a former boxer, Coach Raghav, trained a handful of kids. The gym had no air conditioning, no fancy equipment, just a ring with faded ropes, the smell of sweat, and a coach who believed in discipline. Arjun was the weakest among them. His punches lacked power. His footwork was sloppy. He lost every sparring match. The other boxers smirked, shaking their heads as if to say, "He won't last." But he kept going. Every day before the city woke up, Arjun trained. He ran miles, jumped ropes until his legs burned, and punched the worn-out heavy bag until his knuckles bled. No one saw the pain. No one saw the frustration when he lost over and over again. A year later, Arjun entered his first amateur tournament. He faced an opponent with years of experience, a favorite to win. The first round was brutal. Arjun took hit after hit. His body screamed in pain. The referee almost stopped the fight. But in the second round, something shifted. Arjun remembered the endless mornings, the lonely runs, the sweat-drenched workouts when no one was watching. He dodged, countered, and delivered a punch so clean that his opponent hit the mat. That was his first victory. The world still didn't know him. The newspapers didn't care, but he kept going. Over the next 5 years, Arjun fought in small tournaments. No TV coverage, no prize money, just bruises, broken ribs, and the occasional pat on the back from Coach Raghav. Friends moved on. Some got jobs, some got married. They laughed at his struggle. Still chasing that boxing dream? They teased. His father remained unimpressed. "No one in our family has done this. Get a real job." But Arjun had seen something they hadn't. His own potential. And so he trained when no one was looking. He ran under the streetlights while others slept. He punched bags when no crowd cheered. One day, a scout from the national boxing team came to watch a tournament in Delhi. Arjun wasn't the main event. He was just another unknown fighter on the list. But when he stepped into the ring, something changed. Years of unseen effort exploded into his punches. His footwork was sharper than ever. He fought like a man who had trained in the shadows for years, waiting for this one moment. He won. And this time, people noticed. The scout approached him, offering a chance to train with the national team. It wasn't a guaranteed career, but it was a step closer. 3 years later, Arjun represented India in an international boxing championship. The stadium was packed. Cameras flashed. The world finally saw him, but they didn't see the 4:30 a.m. runs. They didn't see the injuries, the self-doubt, the nights he almost gave up. They only saw the champion, the fighter with his arm raised in victory. After the match, reporters surrounded him, asking, "What's your secret to success?" Arjun smiled and simply said, "I kept going when no one was watching." Success isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the lonely hours, the unseen sacrifices, the moments when doubt whispers that you should quit. So if you're struggling, if you feel invisible, remember, no one is watching now, but one day, they will. Keep going.